Kiana. I'm really glad you were able to come in today, and it's really good to meet you. How are you? Let's start out by kind of doing a small assessment, just to try to figure out, so I can get to know you better, and I can know how you're feeling. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm really tired.
You're really
I
tired.
didn't want to be here.
Yeah, therapy's really hard. And a lot of times people come in when they really don't want to, so I'm sorry about that. But I am really glad that you're here and you made a big step in coming today, so I'm really proud of you for that. Anything else that you're feeling today besides tired?
Nope.
No, just tired? Okay. How have you been feeling really tired for a while, or is this new, or what?
Yes, for a while.
How long?
My entire life. I feel very burned out all the time.
Really? What do you think you're being burned out from?
Work, emotions, my life.
What do you do for work?
I work at a psych hospital.
Wow, that's a really hard job. And do you work with adults or kids or what?
Teenagers.
Yeah, that's really hard. Teenagers in general are really hard, but I'm sure that's a really stressful job, and it would make you feel really tired and like mentally exhausted. What else is going on with you today? What brought you in today?
I wanted to come to therapy because of what happened in my mission and kind of like talk through that,
Okay.
deal with that.
Do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Sure.
Okay. Why don't we start at the beginning, and you start where you feel comfortable, and then we'll kind of go from there.
So I was called to serve. I'm Mormon.
Okay.
LDS.
Okay.
I was called to serve LDS mission to Chile, and I left when I was like 19. And then on my mission, about 9 months in, we were held hostage.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That must have been so scary.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that.
So there was 4 sisters in a house, and we lived really far from our mission president. And one night, we didn't have like stuff to lock the windows, and so it was just open. And I guess these 2 guys had been watching us for weeks. So they broke into the house, and they woke up 2 sisters downstairs first, and they came upstairs and woke us up with like a gun to our head and just asked us for money, and I don't speak Spanish, so I was real confused. And then they brought all of us upstairs, and we just had to like sit in silence for a really long time. And then from there, they took us one by one downstairs, like alone, which is really weird because in the mission, you're never alone, especially with like a dude. So then we went downstairs, and then one of them, they took one of the girls downstairs and never brought her back up. So then me and the other 2 sisters like made a plan to get downstairs. And we finally got downstairs because there were 2 guys. So one had a gun and the one had a knife. And the guy with the gun was downstairs. And then they switched, and the guy with the knife went downstairs, and then they switched again. So there's always someone with us. And we all got downstairs finally, and we found the girl who was in the bathroom with the guy, and we had to like help her get out.
Wow. That must have been so scary, but on top of that, what are some of the things that were running through your mind during all of that?
Well, after that, we called the police in Chile, and they didn't believe us.
Wow.
They said, "Oh, are you guys drunk?"
Oh
We
my
said,
gosh.
"No, we're sisters of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints."
Did they know what that was?
No.
Okay.
But we told them we were missionaries and we worked for a church, essentially.
Yeah.
And they were like, and hung up the phone. And then we finally got all of them out, and then we had like no way of communication because they took all of our phones, and our mission president lived 6 hours away. So then all four of us decided that I was going to jump a fence in the back.
Oh my gosh.
And so I had to jump a fence. So they came in around midnight, and this was about 5:30 in the morning that I had to jump the fence. Jumped the fence, knocked on this guy's window, and he came out at 5:30 in the morning and was like, "What are you doing?" And then I had to go in this guy's house. Again, I was just alone with this dude, and asked him if I could use his phone to call my mission president. Called my mission president, and they said they'll be there right away, but that was also 6.5 hours later. And then I had to walk to my house by myself.
Was it still dark outside?
Yeah. And at the time, they told us, if you guys come out or try to get help, we have friends outside and they'll kill you.
So where did you find the strength and the courage to be able to, first of all, survive that whole incident, but have the courage to, you said you jumped a fence or climbed over a fence and then run and get help. I would have been so scared. Where do you think that comes from?
Well, the whole time that was happening, I was making a plan in my head, and I really needed the rest of the girls to go through with it, but they wouldn't. So,
because they were probably scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did, because I was the tallest, I was the biggest, and I can defend myself.
Where did you learn to defend yourself?
My dad's pretty strong.
So he
Mom, not so much.
So he kind of instilled in you just to kind of be tough and kind of fend for yourself, not fend for yourself, but just be a strong person.
Yeah, and my siblings sucked when I was little, so I had to defend myself.
So your siblings were very nice to you when you were little, so you kind of had to, you grew some strength from that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. I can't imagine being in that situation and feeling like you're so scared, but you still have to go through with all of this in order to get the help that you need, so somebody could come and rescue
Someone
you.
had to do it.
Yeah.
And I was real mad.
Wow. So, what kind of thoughts or what kind of feelings go through your mind that you thought about yourself before this happened? Like, what kind of person do you think you would describe yourself as?
Like before my mission?
Before this incident.
Opinionated.
Okay.
That is all.
But
No.
were you like the sensitive type? Were you?
Yes.
You were?
Sensitive, emotional, ask my family.
Wow. And so it doesn't seem like that is the kind of person that did all of that stuff on your mission. It seems like you kind of had to find that inner strength in you when that whole situation happened. It's amazing. How do you see yourself now? Like, has it changed?
I get myself super sensitive and emotional.
Yeah. What kind of
Yes.
things? You are still emotional, sensitive and emotional. Okay. What else?
Some might say I'm still opinionated.
Okay. So you have kind of a strong personality.
Mm-hmm. When I'm around others.
Okay.
But when I'm by myself, I don't show emotion.
Okay. Why not? Why do you think that is?
But when I'm by myself, I'm very I'll cry about anything. My dog annoyed tears.
Wow. Why do you think you're so guarded, like when you're around people?
I don't know.
Does it seem like when you think about that, do you seem kind of confused yourself as to why you're so kind of guarded with people around, but not so much when you're by yourself?
I think because I have to put up a front. I feel like I have to put up a front.
Why do you think that?
Because people see me as this like tough person.
Okay.
I'll show you a tough
Do
person.
you not see yourself as a tough person? Because it seems like,
Not in like everyday life.
okay,
When I'm by myself. Because I'm scared
yeah,
still because of what happened.
right. And that's totally understandable. I would be too. That would be really, really scary. Do you feel like because of this fear that you kind of don't do the same things now that you did before?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't go anywhere by myself alone. I don't go anywhere at night. I'm like paranoid about locking my doors and my windows. And if like someone else does it, I triple check their work because I can't trust people. I have
Yeah.
a dog
Yeah. Wow.
who's bigger than me.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand how you would feel that way. And I think those are pretty normal safety things that you should have in your everyday life anyway, even if that didn't happen to you. But do you feel like because you're fearful of those things, do you feel like you're kind of missing out on the things that you would normally do?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. And so what we're going to do in therapy, and I appreciate you, trusting me enough to share that story with me, because that's not easy to be able to do that. It's really hard to share, really scary things that happen to us. And that was a really, really traumatic experience for you. And so we're going to talk a little bit about trauma. Are you familiar with trauma and kind of how that manifests itself?
I
In your
just know it's
body?
like past things that happen.
Yeah. And pretty much everyone has had trauma at some time in their life, right? Because trauma can be any really bad experience. It can be a really severely traumatic, like violent experience like you went through. It could be, the loss of a parent or a loved one or a child. It can be some sort of abuse that we experienced in our life. And so when we've been through trauma, especially the kind of trauma that you've been through, sometimes it kind of manifests itself in our bodies. And our feelings and emotions change because of that trauma. And so I'm really happy that you were able to come in today. One of the things that's really hard is a lot of people, when they've been through situations like this, they really need to see a professional, but they don't feel comfortable doing that. And so it takes a lot of courage to be able to come in and talk to somebody. And so I just want you to know that I'm really, really proud of you for doing that. The other thing that I kind of noticed as you were telling your story is when a lot of times when people have been through, especially really traumatic, severely traumatic experience like what you've been through, is you can develop symptoms of PTSD. Are you familiar with PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder?
Nope.
No? Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about it. So PTSD happens after trauma, and it can cause some of the symptoms that you were describing, like you're really tired, you're yawning a lot, and so it can make us really, really tired to the point where we sleep too much, or maybe don't sleep at all because maybe you're scared at night and you're afraid to go to sleep. Is that, you're saying that that's maybe something that's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could be because of your experience that happened to you on your mission. And so you know, in helping you in therapy, one of the things that came to mind is there's an intervention that would be really useful for your type of situation. It would be a really good fit for you, and it's called trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. Have you ever heard of that?
That's one of the ones we use at like work and stuff.
Okay.
Well, the treatment teams.
What do you know about it?
Not really anything.
Okay. So it's mainly something maybe the therapists or social workers do at your work with the patients.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it helps in a lot of different ways. So it can change your thought patterns, or, you know, once we get into therapy, we'll teach you some grounding exercises where maybe we'll have you close your eyes and stand up and just have you really feel the floor and feel the support that the floor gives you, and try to help you understand that, you know, you are surrounded, you are safe. And we'll do some exercises like that to help you that way. And you'll also learn how to manage your emotions and your behavior a little bit better. You mentioned that you're not sleeping very well, and so we'll teach you some ways that we can try to help you through that. And the main thing that I really want you to know is that you have within you the ability to heal yourself, but maybe you just need somebody to kind of walk you through some techniques and some exercises in order to bring that out of you, because you right now you don't know that that's inside of you, but everyone has the ability to heal themselves if they've got the right help to help them do that. And then we'll want to help you kind of learn more about your trauma, and so we'll talk about, you know, the beliefs. We talked a little bit about beliefs a little bit ago. A lot of times what trauma will do is after the trauma, you'll have a lot of negative beliefs, not mainly about yourself. It could be about your surroundings. You mentioned that you feel scared a lot, in the world in general, and even the people that love and care about you, you'll have maybe some negative feelings about that. And so we'll kind of help you through that as well. And then the last thing is we'll help you find new meaning from your experience. The fear may never go away. We can't make that fear go away because we can't take that experience away from you, right? That happened. But we can help you know how to work through it and know how to live with it. That you don't have to be scared all the time. It's good to be safe and lock your doors, and having a dog is really good because it does help you feel more safe. So those are kind of some of the things we're going to work on. This technique can take up to 12 weeks. We will want you to come in every week and have a session. Is that something that you'd be able to do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that would fit in with your schedule to come in for like an hour a week.
I only work 3 days a week.
Okay, good.
Probably the days you don't.
So we'll try to work with your schedule in order to fit that in. And if we could get a day that's the same every week, the same day and time, that might work better for you, just because that's the thing you can project and you can know that it's coming. Any questions that you have? No? Okay. Well, it was super great to meet you, and you know, again, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, but you know, I'm going to help you. We're going to have to work really hard. It's not going to be easy. Therapy's hard, and we have to kind of tackle some things that are not going to be comfortable, but it's going to be worth it in the end if we work really hard and we're able to get some techniques down and different thought patterns for you. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, we will go ahead and schedule your next session. And
Do I do that here with the front desk?
probably the front desk will help you with that. And her name's Jennifer, and she's going to help you get that scheduled, okay?
Okay.
All right, Kiana, thanks so much for coming in today. I appreciate it.